Jai Bhagwan, Namaste, house, whoosh, whoosh. Welcome home. Hello, my family, my brothers, my sisters. I am presently on my journey to work in Cassadaga, where I will be doing psychic readings and shamanic healings and sound baths and a little bit of what I like to call Trina medicine. Trina medicine represents all the medicine and healing that has helped me. That's what Trina medicine believes in. So I try to share these things with people. Like, am I eating lipstick? Inner thought. Insecurities. Mindfulness is one of the main aspects of Trina medicine and yoga. And when I say yoga, I do not mean so much as the asanas, as the postures, as much as I represent the yoga of consciousness, which I have learned from the Amrit Institute. I like to share these teachings, these medicines, colors, lights, sounds. There's many different healing modalities. I also love to do guided meditations. I am in the process of refining my skills more and more, as often and frequently as I can, as Source provides. I've been listening to Love and Bliss over and over and over and over and over and over again by Amrit Desai. I love Amrit Desai. There was a psychic named Joy Sagar in Cassadaga who had predicted that I would go on to do pranayama. And connecting the dots backwards, it's really cute, you know? Especially if you've seen my Mother's Day video where you see my confession of my sin of taking my breath for granted and not really being content with just being, with just breathing. Thinking that it was so much pain and so much suffering, with splinters in my eyes, unable to see the beauty and the childlike innocence in all things once again. And now here I am, as I am that I am. Only few of you truly understand. And for those who do not, I'm holding a space for you until you are ready to fully comprehend and understand, to stand under, to fully support and know and be with one another instead of just with yourself. However, not many understand and support and nurture themselves, which is also a big part of Trina medicine, is self-love. I'm currently smoking out my car, you could say. My trunk has been leaking water forever, so I'm using like this pen, burning some frankincense and some sage, just like trying to make the car smell good. I don't know how it's leaking into the front here. However, this is my first car, and it's a process, and I'm in the process of also practicing yoga of non-attachment. I believe is abragaha. This is coming from Pentanjali. I just said it perfectly yesterday, or like, you know, I was taught officially. Patanjali, the 8 limbs of yoga. Okay. I still have so much more to learn, which is why I'm like always promoting, like, if you want to invest in me and support me and financially back me, please invest in me in these certain ways, right? And I've always been promoting, like, oh my god, I would love to go to the Amrit Institute. Oh my god, yoga. They're doing a lot of their teaching online and at really affordable rates too. However, I haven't aligned with that, and I'm kind of like crushed about it because there was a particular class I really wanted to go to. However, I'll admit that I really would like to experience that in person. And I've been waiting a long time to be granted permission from the Amrit Institute to be allowed to do that. So it's a process again. I'm working on being gentle with myself. That can be really difficult, especially when your inner narrator is constantly goal-oriented, constant doing. This is where pratyahara comes in hand for me when I'm being of service inside Cassadaga. I do this thing called pratyahara, and it means where I ask you to close your eyes, and please keep your eyes closed 100%. 100%. Please do not open your eyes. It can be sensory overload and very stimulating. All the colors, all the visuals can be very stimulating and like sensory overload. So you need some time time to go within, close your eyes, and really process and be with yourself instead of constant doing, constant escapism, video games, you can say masturbation or sugar or whatever your escape thing is, right? For me, it's like, oh, I need attention, I need loving affection, like love, 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 gimme, 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 gimme. Love addict, right? But I'm also a love avoidant by previously learning that love will burn you and hurt you if you get too attached. This is where apragraha also comes in handy, okay? So pratyahara means withdrawal of the senses. Withdrawal of the senses in Sanskrit, mind you, okay? So I ask that you close your eyes, hear nothing. All sounds, let them take you deeper within yourself, and notice any highlighters, ironic timings, that there are loud, obnoxious noises. Let's say you are finally eyes closed, and suddenly child or baby goes, "Wah!" Highlighter, 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 dude. God is showing you the importance of you being with you. It's your free will. Are you gonna go, or are you gonna be with you and God for a moment, you know? Are you gonna give yourself permission to rest? There's a reason why God, or the scriptures, or the people who wrote the scriptures of speaking of God, gave us one day of rest. These scriptures that are passed down for lineages, you know, and mind you, not just like Christianity or like, you know, limited religions. Maybe that narrative isn't appropriate. Maybe I should list all the religions. But like, I believe that they all have purpose and integrity and dignity. And I believe that like, there is a reason for these lands and these like ways. I've been attempting to tweet. Like, I don't know how to get my voice out there other than like tweeting and like just by like being the change. So I really enjoy writing. And so I've been trying to find alternate ways of releasing my writings in this day and age without having to fully commit to writing a book. However, when I have written and sold for $100 a copy for just the PDF, it's a lot of really private stuff and access into my mind and my childhood, and you could say my stoner days of just like using marijuana to constantly escape the pain of within that like didn't always have a story, you know what I mean? Or maybe I just never took time to actually process and hear the story, or like have any deeper understanding of like childhood and self, etc. However, like I can't help but feel extreme gratitude, like praise to God, you know, Jai Guru, or Jai Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Like, people don't understand, like, this new thing that I've, like, discovered. But, like, I feel like there might be some religious groups who might already acknowledge this, okay? And I don't know it, but this is how it goes. It's like where I make a prayer that God is stronger. Or, like, right? Hare Krishna. Like, praise to God, give God strength, give God more glory, more mercy, more love, more affection. Give God, not saying, please God, serve me, do this, I am holier than thou, right? It's leaving a space. And that space is called grace or faith. That prayer, that secret in your closet, in your mind. You think God wants you to bottle up all your anger and your sadness? No way, no way. Chip, my good friend Chip, the yogi Chip, reinforced this to me. How God does not want you to hide your anger from Him and how much you hate Him or how much you're upset. God wants you to open up and admit and confess everything, right? How He knew this stuff, I don't know, and I would just love to pick His brain a little bit more. And my inner kid would love for you to have an interview of this gentleman, and I do hold the intention of holding that space. Shall I be given permission with Divine Source and Chip and all the alignments of the universe to create this interview? This person has done such profound inner journeys and is a powerful space holder for me, and there are very few that can be a container for me. This person is a powerful teacher for me. Like, my brain is just like overstimulated right now, constantly learning from this person. And we've been discussing serotonin reuptake and neuroscience and yoga, and also the magic healing that comes from plant medicine. And this person is so educated, and it comes from their own passion, their homework and research. And we have discussed, geez, It's like all these little rocks hitting my window. Ouch. Scary. What I was going to translate is how Chip is holding the intention of possibly generating a source of income that will allow him to have the freedom to just focus and write this book. So if you can say a little prayer and hold a space for this stranger, God's child, so that his dreams may come true and so the universe may receive his medicine, and prayers for protection, that no darker forces of energy get to this human being, that there is a space, a clear path for him to create. I am very moved. We have been discussing ibogaine. I am very called to the medicine of ibogaine. It was speaking to me when I was in Bellingham, Washington. If I would have brought my passport like my intuition was telling me, I could have literally drove to have this ibogaine ceremony in British Columbia. So, bam! Bam, man! Bam, bam, bam. My inner kid is like such a brat and throwing a tantrum because the universe has been showing me signs left and right, but I just many times don't listen to that still, quiet inner voice. I have silenced my own voice for so long because my voice was barked on and trying to change and manipulate and control, and I feel like I've put in a lot of inner work to the point where I like feel this immense love for me and parts of me that I have gathered from others in the universe and from simply living and being that have really like generated this love, you know. A certain thing that comes to mind of showing some truth and some honest difficulty for me is eating. I really struggle to eat sometimes, like not like an eating disorder of anorexia or bulimia, making myself throw up. However, it's just like almost like a disassociation with food, like not like feeling really safe with food, like questioning like what's in it, you know. I don't know if I sense nanotechnology in the food. You can Google nanotechnology in food. You can Google that right now. I'm not a freaking conspiracy theorist. It's a scientific fact. So, same thing with HEK293, human embryonic kidney cells. There's a company, Senomax, SENOYMX. I'm like, I need to write that down on paper to be sure. But it's called Senomax. And these companies, they admit to using these stimulants, and they're very open also who their main corporation companies are. So please be understanding of sister corporations who are owned by the same companies. Like even though this corporation isn't called the same as that corporation, it's owned by the same people. Like complete monopoly or capitalism, you know? So like try to understand. The people really do have all the power. It would just be best if we wouldn't create violence and turn against each other and see that we are all on the same page. Yes, there are higher alliances that have our, like, you could say, worst interest in mind and their best interest in mind, and we are just considered rats and food to them, that there are too many of us. They are very open about overpopulation. There are so many conversations. Bill Gates is very open about his public opinion about us being overpopulated and us being able to change that with vaccinations and proper health care. There's an amazing book called Brainwashing Psychopolitics. Look that up, man. If you can handle understanding how your brain is being manipulated every day. I also encourage you to study Sigmund Freud's his brother-in-law. Excuse the stuttering of the trauma of the intense energy stepping through. Yes, maybe that was a highlighter for you. Look up Edward Bernays. Edward Bernays is Sigmund Freud's brother-in-law, who wrote this book called Propaganda, which educates you on proper controlling of the minds of people and proper marketing. And that's using fear, sex, and the power of suggestion. Please be mindful of this. These weapons are being used against you all of the time. All of the time. For example, I could be like, you're going to send me $1 million. Okay. It's like that. It's literally like that. Now that image is in your brain forever. Now, instead of you seeing me as a greedy Dr. Evil, maybe you can hold a space for me to become that millionaire. So that way I can share all of my millions of great dollars that I spend on all of these great fortunate things to share with you. You understand? My dream is like, I need $1 million, but not really. I might need like 1 million. Like, not 1 million, but like, numbers are hard. I would love to get it under 1 million. The goal is to create an establishment, okay? And like, I'm really, really good with money, I want to say, okay? Like, I'm really kind of like wise at like knowing investments, equal energetic exchanges. And like, that doesn't mean I'm greedy with my money. I mean, like, I give a lot. And like, I'm not one who actually records and documents and shares these things. You know what I mean? It's not the way. You know what I mean? There's like talking like, oh, I'm living like this. And then there's like just being it. You know what I mean? So like, I'm trying to represent equal energetic exchange here. I'm thinking of my boyfriend right now because of this inside joke that he might have gotten if he's watching this. So back to the $1 million, right? Like logistically. So I would like to open up let me slow down. I have this wish, this dream, this fantasy of opening up a healing resort. And I want lots of sacred lands. Like safe, non-flooding, beautiful nature. I would like to plant plants. I would like to have maybe like a 13-room building. Maybe more. I'm looking for certain positions. I have a bunch of things I would like to do, and I just need land. And it's very special and sacred. I'll know it when it happens, and I'm just holding a space for it. I'm putting that out to the universe of like choosing to do that. Like if I could open up Trina medicine instead of doing acupuncture, or maybe both. Like I could maybe run that and bring all these different healings of like massage and cranial sacral therapy, visceral manipulation, kinesiology, kenotape, empathy. Like I have so many different things I like to do. I just feel like I need a spot, you know? And I feel like I need a spot where like people come from all over the world. But like I feel like I could create that anywhere if I could just determine a sacred spot. Part of that comes in faith and trust and believing, right, that divine source will provide this, right, if it's meant to be, right, if it's true. If it's true. But like part of it has to do with me choosing. I need to have commitment. I need to choose. Like that's really what I want to do. It's just so much responsibility, but I really do have this big, beautiful dream of these things that I can do. And I've had the idea of maybe tag teaming with like Fuller Life, and I'm not sure if they would let me, or like I don't even know what that place is like. My inner kid would just be like, can we build a second Fuller Life, and maybe in America, and then let me be a part of that Fuller Life, and then yeah, you can call it Fuller Life, though I want to bring Trina medicine. Okay, that's my only wish. I want to have like almost like a sauna room too, where there's raindrops falling from the ceiling. Okay, that's one room. I have so many visions. I can only begin to plant seeds, and it's not about money. It's about bringing this healing to the planet and bringing awareness to these types of simple healing modalities that are just here, now, breathing, nature. However, like, if you have any power, I'm going to ask, if you want to pay me anything, please plant a seed. Literally. Plant a real seed. Plant a tree. Plant a tree. Name it Tree. My name is Trina. Please. Tree. Plant a tree for me. Give it love. Nurture it. Honor it. And never cut them down. Let them provide air. I would like a sycamore tree. How about some mimosa? I also have a fantasy of gathering animals and letting my land have animals. And yeah, frogs, monkeys, freedom, birds, like complete freedom, nature, reservation. Like I want my own reservation, and like I want landed on sacred native lands, and I feel the lands. I can feel it every time I'm there. There's certain places, like in Florida, Ginny Springs, man. Those are some sacred lands. Gilchrist Springs, Gilchrist Blue Springs, the regular Blue Springs by Cassadaga, Alexander Springs, Juniper Springs. Oh my God, Devil's Den. Devil's Den is an interesting portal. I wouldn't necessarily call that a Native American place. However, like, I'm really into ley lines. If you can look those up, Leylines, ley lines. Ley lines kind of represents, like, when you travel certain places, different places have certain energy fields, right? Florida is considered like a ground zero. Like, that's why a lot of people come here when they're sick. You know, Flagler came here when he was sick. Or should I say when his people are sick, right? And, like, that's why people go to the beach. It, like, cleans up all the energy, right? It's like one of those places. I would love to learn more about these energetic vortexes. And, again, I'm at the tip of the iceberg with all this stuff. And, Joyce Sagar comes to mind. I kind of, like, freaked this gentleman out. I started talking crap about Cassadaga and how, like, it's a small city and how desperately the city needs, like, a proper grocery store, and that there's no, like, real grocery store within the vicinity. And I started talking about secret societies, and yeah, I really freaked him out. He was like, "Arr." My heart so broken, you know. I was in a really dark place, and that brings Eric Bellatti's quote to mind: "The dark place, it's a terrible, terrible place. It's a place where your soul and mind goes, while your body lies in agony on the earth." In my childhood, we had smoked this thing that is, I believe, technically counting as spice now. However, at the time, it was called Mary Joy, that I was a spokesmodel for. I was a clown that was painted on the cover, and then I would dress up as this clown and express, right? Express promotion, really. This stuff was quite interesting. It was, like, sold to me as, like, legal marijuana at the time, you know? Like, for me, it was very healing. But yeah, I watched a lot of people go really crazy on that stuff, and I remember going through some, like, really wild internal journeys, especially while that person was saying that quote over and over and over again. The dark place is a terrible, terrible place. It's a place where your soul and mind goes while your body lies on agony in the earth. Like, but that was totally that place that this medicine, or spice, or smokable herbal incense, as sold as, right, would cause, man. I'm very fortunate, like, I didn't, you know, not from my conscious awareness, not have any, like, serious, like, I'm hearing a word, recalities, but it's not the word I'm looking for. Whatever. It's hard to let go of, like, the narrative sometimes, and I get really excited, and I'm very passionate, and I'm also very tired because I can't stop. And it's important to me to continue this practice of yoga and pratyahara and meditation. I'm so excited for Sunday. Oh my God, please, if you're watching this right now and you're my friend and you're able to get close to me, please send me a message that reminds me on Saturday, please remind me Saturday, to set my alarm early for Sunday, please. I have to do meditation. Please, it's $5. I need to get with Sean Kennedy, dude. I need this meditation, and I love what he's doing. And I would love to have a private session again too. That's $65 if you'd like to pay it forward and reimburse that. And if you're gonna do that, please, when you send donations, like through the Cash App or PayPal or YouTube, you know, put in a note, you know, and like, I would appreciate if you would put these exact words. I'll list a couple. Number one, for the teachings of Jesus Christ. Number one. Make the note say that, just that, for the teachings of Jesus Christ. That's what I want Trina Medicine to represent. Number two, for the love of Trina Medicine. Thank you for teaching me my medicine. 3, right? You can say, thank you, Reiki Master. Just, like, be mindful and, like, If you are called to send a note, maybe like if we haven't had like a safe, I don't know how to narrate that. I don't really know how to narrate that. But just like I was about to just say, like maybe before doing that you should contact me and say, hey, I have this intention of doing this. You know what I mean? Because like certain verbal language isn't appropriate to be put inside the note box there, is what I'll say. Okay? Some of you are educated enough to know what I mean. Okay? So put your love out there, your respect for all life. All life. Even you, not just you. Us. Me and you. Us. Friends forever. Us. Love. True love. Unconditional. No matter what. Nothing tears away our love like real brother and sister. Yes? Aside from, like, you could say the incest and the rape culture. Right? Culture. Society and culture brainwashes us so much. Part of Trina medicine is also flowers. So if you want to, you can also put in the note box, say for roses. Just something so simple, for roses. $50 for roses. Trina medicine excessively believes in the power of roses. They vibrate at 320 megahertz. I am often guided by the spirit to gather roses and to bring them to be of service, so they can be in the field of others. So many people won't buy themselves flowers, or they forget the beauty. There was this beautiful Christian girl, her name is Chelsea, and Chelsea had taught me that, and according to her stories and her biblical references, that supposedly the Garden of Eden was filled with roses. It was just roses everywhere. And like, I listened to this segment yesterday that resurfaced this thought, which originally came from Uncle Frank, about what if we were already in heaven? Would we be able to know it? You know, I would need to record him. I need to record Uncle Frank. I've been talking about it forever. He's been talking smack about coming through to Florida. If he comes through to Florida, like, Trina is changing. You feel me? And what I mean is, like, prepare for the channel to have more interviews and not just underwater content. And like, if you're interested in that underwater content, please be patient. I mean, like, especially if you're demanding for free. I do have online official websites where I'm like updating my content, and it's like a way that you can say, hey, I support you. Like, even if you're also getting the free content on YouTube, right? So you can like just show support. You know, it's not about what you get out of the website and out of the control and forcing me to update as often as you believe I should, or to provide what you want. You understand? I'm willing to do customs, but please understand that this is a work and effort, and that there's like a lot of art and work that goes into like what you demand of me. And I hope that you can see the worth and the effort and the worth of this video. You know, is it worth $28 to you? You know? Or like, am I not worth your time and attention? Or am I not worth sitting here with me? How many of you have actually sat through 100%? Maybe you could leave a comment that says you are loved 100% if you actually have made it this far and watched the whole thing. But only say that if you've actually done that. And then maybe all the people that will see the comments will feel they are loved because you told them you are loved. But mean it. You have to mean it. And it's okay if you don't mean it, just honor that you don't mean it, you know? There's a helicopter. Are they fucking checking for speeders? Times are changing in this new world order, man. All we can do is bring peace amongst the people, and we win. If we can see the enemy is fear and separation, and if we can see that we have each other, and that I can open up to you and tell you, like, I was abused and this happened to me, and I'm really excited to live for this, even though that happened, and that I was able to talk to this girl and that person because I understood, because I've been there too, and stuff like that, you know? And my goal is to help the children. That's where I'm at. I want to help the kids. And I face a lot of abuse being a mermaid, actually. People telling me that I didn't deserve to work with kids because of my childhood involvement, being 18 years old, being a webcam girl. Now that's sexual harassment, is it not? Is it not harassing me for my sexuality and judging me for my choices in my youth? People don't understand sexual abuse. Not every person that is sexually abused completely shuts down sexually. Some people are hypersexual and puts that version of themselves on stage, looking to be exposed, looking to have attention, and to have it served in a loving, consensual manner. Psychology is very powerful, and as you begin to study neuroscience and the brain and the body, you will begin to grow. And if you're going to have this human experience, I think the one thing you should know about is your brain, so you don't get taken advantage of. You have free will. Please know more about your brain. I didn't know the value and importance of this before I had my boyfriend, who has been so kind and loving and educated in such sweet things. I feel I'm being gang stalked right now. I'm literally feeling like this energy, what seems like might be an undercover cop. So I'm like, fine. You know what else stinks? Like, hypothetically speaking, that's not an undercover, right? And my intuition isn't going off. Hypothetically speaking, that my body isn't warning me of social conditionings, right? Hypothetically speaking, like, think about how I'm technically policing myself right now, right? I'm going 74. Dude, I need to go around this person. I am so sorry. I kind of don't care if this is a UC is what I want to say, an undercover. Going a little too fast. Let me slow down a little bit. Kind of want to get in front of this person, but like, can we just get to where I want to go safely without dealing with anybody telling me what to do? I just wanted to also like cover though that policing yourselves thing. You know, I try to talk about it in past videos, but do you ever really think about it? You ever think about how you purposely don't break the law or you don't do anything wrong because like you're literally policing yourself? Like, you're literally afraid to have that thought, like, oh, what will this person think of me because of this? Just also recognize your denial. Like, you might be in denial excessively of your pain. You might say that I'm not in pain, I am happy, nothing is wrong. Nothing's wrong. I don't appreciate that, dude. I want you to be honest. But I can't force your healing, and I can't force you to love me. I can't force you to listen to me. I can't even pay you to love me. You know what I mean? I can't train you. I used to play with that goddess energy of like being in the BDSM community and being a goddess and this ego lifestyle of play, which was really, really fun, to be honest. And it's fun to play all roles, to be honest. Maybe that's why I love being an actress so much, is because like it's fun. It's fun, it's interesting. It's what's that word that there's a girl that I like to call Dr. Joy Kimmel, and she taught me about the importance of doing what's called improv. Just having fun, dancing, being silly, being comfortable in your body and going through the uncomfortable motions. She prescribed that as my medicine. And I started to giggle because I was like realizing like technically every moment is an improv constantly. Like, we have no clue what we're going to do next, right? We can choose like, hey, next I'm going to pick my nose, and next I'm going to flick it instead of eating it. I hope you're finding a slight sense of humor or like some sense of feeling from this. I hope that you are feeling blessed to feel some feelings and to share this time and space with me. I do apologize if I have triggered any emotions that have been negative narratives or uncomfortable feelings to process. And I'm thankful for those of you that can be full containers for me, like able to actually have a space for me to right? Like any of that pain and suffering or anger, attachment, heartbreak, grievances, loss, right? I hear Uncle Frank in my head. Those who truly understand pain and suffering never cause it. I'm starting to question if I truly understand it, man. I would love to meditate on pain a little bit more. I have learned in my youth to really value pain. And I think that's also where the BDSM community also comes in, you know, my deep understanding of how, like, you could say that, like, I was numb and, like, I needed to, like, pinch instead of, like, a soft caress, or maybe being able to value and appreciate both forms of touch and experience of the human body. loving this morning frankincense. I've decided to add some copal to my Amazon wish list. I found out that's what my shaman's using, and I was like, oh my god, I thought it was frankincense. I think he uses both. So I got some copal on the list, and my intention is to share that with everybody. And same thing with the sage that's on there. I know it's like $100 bundle of sage. Just know that like it'll go a long way, and I won't feel like the need to be so stingy with my sticks, you know, because they can be like $5 to $10 a stick, and sometimes $12 a stick, sometimes 15. Some people charge 20. You know what I mean? And like I would love to be able to work with the plant itself. Like that's my fantasy. Like, is there anybody providing classes to get hands-on with these plants? Like, if not, let me somehow learn how to like handle these plants, and then let me provide classes where you can grow your own sage and then learn to bundle your own stuff, and then add lavender and rose petals and whatever else that you're drawn to, like I, you know? You let me over? Thank you. I'm so hungry, dude, and like I failed myself because I did not pack lunch aside from like fruit that I bought that's like already in a bowl from Publix, which totally, I'm sure, is like GMO and like non-organic and stuff like that. However, I'm still going to talk to the cells of the fruit and bless it and give it to Hare Krishna and to yes. Sometimes I forget to like offer, you know, and sometimes I do spirit plates. I have many like weird like little spiritual practices that just like make me feel good and enjoy my experience, no matter how like delusional and like weird they may be, right? Spirit plates is something I learned in an ayahuasca ceremony, and after I experienced that I was like, oh my god. Like personally experiencing that like in ceremonial way where everyone put food in the middle and like spirit plate, spirit eats first. Like that teaching was like, oh my god, that's so beautiful, beautiful. This makes me think of like what I want to say, China. Is it China or is it Japan? I forgot, though I remember reading or learning about how they believe it's best to not talk about the dead because they believe that the dead are really close, like really close. If there's anyone of like that culture that knows what I'm talking about, please leave some educational commentary in the comments because I would love to know you and hear from you. Oh my god. Yes. Can we be friends? Can we be friends? Can we be friends? Can we be friends? Can we be friends and family forever? Can we? I'm sorry, please hold a space for me to be with the love of my choice. I understand you may be very attracted to me. You just know that I'm so in love with this individual, and there's nothing I would want to do to ever even risk potentially like losing that connection. And if you've ever been in love before, you would completely have compassion and understand and be supportive of my dream of being with my man, right? And I battle with a lot of insecurities and inner narrative stories, and he's been a very powerful teacher for me as well. I call him ZTM. I occasionally put things on my wish list that are for him and for others, you know, that allow me to. I was tempted to put on another teepee. My inner kid was tempted to like give Mara the old teepee, right? And then let us tie-dye it, right? That was the goal. And then the new one, I could like, you know, learn how to tie it up myself and then like start over, you could say. However, I'm very grateful for Sarah purchasing that for me, and I'm thankful for Keith who purchased one for her. I do believe that like that is so exquisite, such a great piece. I get so many compliments on it all the time. Or maybe even if I could like maybe have two, or like keep it as an outskirt. I don't know. I just know that I love them, and like I love the idea of tie-dyeing them. Maybe we could contact the company and just be like, hey, can you send me a picture of the instructions? Or maybe we can like ask on there, like, does anyone have pictures of the instructions how to build this? Or like, I'm sure like one of the sellers though could easily let you see the directions. And maybe there's a video how to put it together. I don't know. how Sarah did that. Again, I still am mind blown. Let me see if there's any updates I have to give you. I got a lot of GoPro videos coming. I'm very grateful to have this new GoPro. I did kind of misplace it, again, this new GoPro. I need to get more responsible. I need to create a forever home for it, a container. And I have like a kit for it. So if I could just get my together, you know what I mean? And if I could trust and have safe space, etc. It's a process, and I'm visualizing this process presently. It's going to take time, and I'm very excited for the future. Very, very excited for the future. I have many, many dreams. I'm very, very thankful for those of you who have been so fine. Like, I can't even talk. And like, maybe I should be specific. I wanted to say a shout out to those who have been financially supportive. My inner kid wants to mention those that I like have their by name, right? Michael, dude. Thank you for your teachings in Jesus Christ. Thank you for understanding like my healing abilities and my gift of empathy. I am so like more than happy to be your friend. Just please respect my boundaries of always knowing the difference of when I am working and when you are needing my light. You need my love, my energy, you need me, right? So you think. Please know that I'd be more than happy to provide you the services that I provide, but if you could please provide an equal energetic exchange. Now, if you are incapable of taking all of my pain away, like I can, like, you know, like sometimes when you're around me, you suddenly feel really better and suddenly your hip doesn't hurt or your body doesn't hurt or you feel suddenly light and happy, you know? Be mindful of that, you know, and understand my need to like regenerate my batteries and to re-come to my center and how you can't just take. And if you are not someone who can replenish me, that no amount of money can make up for that. I had explained equal energetic exchange in a really brutal way to this really sweet gentleman. However, he had kept expressing to me all of his troubles. Like, oh, I got this problem with this girl, and I have this problem, and I have this problem. And then, I had said some, like, equal energetic exchange stuff, right? I was like I called out all my own personal stuff, like my heaviest baggage stuff. I said it in 2 sentences. I'm not going to tell you what it is. It's too personal. It's not for you. Namaha. It's not about me, okay? If you want to know, send $100 and then maybe we can have a phone call and maybe I'll tell you. Maybe, if I trust you. Anyway, so I had explained equal energetic exchange, and then by telling him, I feel like maybe he just like fractally, just partially understood that all of that is that, the equal energetic exchange, that like no amount of money can make up for the job that I was doing for him. And he just kept expecting me to take on more of his stuff, right? So I was like, okay, hey, I have this. I'm feeling like this. He thought I was joking. Later on, he realized that the first thing that I said was true. And the second thing, he was like, is that true? And he got worried. That's all I'll say. Ho'oponopono. Jabagwan. Ho'oponopono. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. I love you. I'm apologetic to my future self. I'm sorry I didn't do it sooner. I'm so sorry. I'm doing my best. Or should I apologize to past Trina? I'm not sure. I just have to keep putting in the work. And it's not easy because everything is always a highlighter pulling me elsewhere, right? Like I'm kind of in a rush to be at work on time right now, which I'm actually really proud that it's like 9:49 and like I'm almost there. Like sometimes I can be more late. I actually left my house a little later than I like to, and somehow I'm still like making it, which is making me feel pretty good. I mean, I'm a little like irritable because I'm not like, 15 minutes early like they like me to be. However, it was kind of hard to come today, if I had to be honest. It was hard. Very tired, very overworked, not being paid enough, like, back for what I'm giving. And trying to find that that balance, and I can only do it through learning the hard way. So I guess you can say God is training me every day to be better and better and better, and like I'm living for my highest self, meaning to be my best self. So instead of living for that husband and living for that dream future and living for that love, that touch, I live now for my highest self. Self with a capital S, as Chip taught, okay? And that is also Chip's lesson of living for your highest self. That is my intention. I am choosing that to be my intention. Even though it may say change the world, is really what we're living for. To make history books. That Trina Christine Mason is inside history books doing monumental things as an activist. I think it starts with our minds, with the thoughts, with the seeds, it being seeds of thoughts, of ideas, and then us sharing our vision, or God's vision, you could say, because it comes from the infinite void, the great mystery, the great spirit, right? The infinite. It comes from there. And then from there, we have the choice to share that seed, share that information. I'm like, who can send 444 right now? Anybody? I dare you. I dare you. Are you brave? Can you afford to lose it? Can you afford to share? Do you trust me? Or are you insecure? Are you willing to listen to your feelings? Or are you trying to re-narrate things? Are you willing to listen to the cries and the pleas of others? When your brother asks for bread, will you give him bread? Or will you give him a snake? Are ye so wicked that you will deny their truth, their dreams, their love? God is the way, the truth, the love, right? God is love. What is love? Love is understanding. What is understanding? Understanding is love. What is love? Love is God. What is God? God is understanding. God is patient. God is kind. Love is kind. Love is patient. Oh, for cute little child sticking her head out the window. Man, her adventurous spirit. Sending her a big giant hug. Big hugs. I have so much to share, and I don't believe in divide and conquer. I believe in sharing and co-creation. I don't believe in taking. I believe in communication. If you see something and you're like, oh my God, I really, really need your healing energy, or I really need this rose, or I really need this, oh my God, I need this. This makes me feel so good. Number one, notice the attachment. Abragaha, right? I think. Please tell me if I'm correct. If abragaha is non-attachment. However, try to separate yourself from the need of people, places, and things. This is also my message to myself. This is my video journal of my process. Maybe one day I could share it with my children if YouTube stays around that long, or if I'm fortunate enough to not be censored and to have free speech here in this portal. You can maybe send a thumbs up or a subscribe, or maybe tune in to my next live, or maybe just turn this off and say a little prayer for my highest best, for me, for God to look over me in that way, to help me in that way, instead of what I think is what's best, or instead of what you think is best for me, that we hold a space. I also would enjoy a space to dream, and for that I'd like to manifest like my own home to own. And everyone keeps saying like, wait, right? Or like now, like, because like the market or whatever is said to be changing. However, I like the idea of renting too forever, because like it seems like a lot of responsibility to take care of a house and like all the things that go wrong. However, I don't like having to be codependent on the landlord either. So it'd be nice to have the freedom. And then I could totally, if I had to settle between having the establishment for others versus something for myself, lie. I'd live in like a tree house in order to have a healing establishment for others, you know? I don't know. I kind of say that now, you know, but just like the bigger dream, of course, is just like a sacred space, a house, you know? Lots of natural lighting, a bathtub, some natural lighting in the bathroom. Yeah, so I can have plants in the bathroom. Bathrooms with windows. I would love to build. I would love to build. I have so many visions of like building buildings, and I love feng shui, and I know a lot of people that just really have that gift of making major transformations. So I'm really blessed with the company that I have been keeping, or that source has been keep sending me. I'm still amazed by this divinity, this divine law, this divine love that I'm personally experiencing, that I'm not learning through religious text messages, you know, that instead I'm learning through my own personal living and being, and that's where I would enjoy to speak from, you know, because that's all I really know. It's what I've lived through, you know. That's the quote of Uncle Frank. Frank Mullins, my Juggalo family, American kickboxer. You might have seen some of his videos on here. If not, you might want to scroll back and catch up. I encourage you to catch up, spend a little bit more time with me. I understand life is very busy, very, very busy. Please understand, I do not enjoy demands. I do not enjoy demands. And there are forms of communication that are best with me. I almost want to encourage you to go on Instagram and maybe make an account dedicated to me, right? If you're like one of those subbies, right? I'm thinking of you. You know who you are. You can make an Instagram and make it say like, I love Trina Mason, or like, right? Something like that, because if you don't use that, or you don't want me to know your real account or whatever's going on, and you would like to communicate with me, right? I think Instagram might be really good. I think Instagram might be good. I think Twitter is also good. However, it would help if you like maybe tweeted a public tweet or reply and said, hey, please check your DMs, or especially if you sent like a donation with the idea of encouraging me to read the message. I do apologize that I haven't read the message that is currently waiting for me. I am grateful for the donation that has been sent, and I am apologetic that I haven't really been, not in the space to like read and process and function in that manner. Like kind of being forced to be here now here, aka nowhere. Now here, I am nowhere, I'm now here. Okay? So please know that. And if you're called to me, like, I would love to have a private session with you. I've mentioned that to you time and time again, that I understand your psychological habits of BDSM and all of that stuff, and how you see the goddess in me. And I do like really enjoy the like level of like honor and appreciation or goddess worship that is sent my way, that like helps me value and love myself and try to love me in the way that you are loving and honoring me. At the same time, I believe that we are brought together for a very other, special, unique purpose, and I do think that pratyahara would be helpful. I will tell you the truth that in person is not mandatory. It's not mandatory. However, it is possible. It is possible if you choose. I like to do it over web camera also, but it's up to you. All I can do is hold space. I'm here at work. I got a lot to carry. God, I need to stretch. Oh, my body. Oh, I'm wearing a dress though, so it's not going to be easy. Oh my God. They chopped some trees. Oh no. We need to plant more trees immediately. Okay. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. I hope you enjoyed this time and energy that I've shared. Ho'oponopono, Jawagwan. House, oosh. I love you. Peace. Shanti Om.